What is up, everyone? How's all this recent content treating you? You like it? And yes, I know you want more career mode. I want it too. But today, it's all about previews and predictions, starting with Real Madrid versus Atletico Madrid. Do you know how good Real Madrid is? Alvaro Morata is coming off a hat-trick against Leganes, and he's probably not going to start in this game because Cristiano Ronaldo, Karim Benzema, and Gareth Bale are all healthy, which maybe he should try blackmail to get into the starting 11. Benzema could give him some tips. Anyway, with Madrid rounding into top form at just the right time, since they play against Atleti, Bayern Munich twice, and Barcelona in 4 out of their next 5 games, these next 15 days are going to determine how they feel about their whole season. If they win, they're probably going to kick on and win some trophies. If they lose, they're probably going to have nothing to show for all of their hard work this season. And that's gonna hurt. And as for Atleti, they're 10 points behind Madrid, but they have a far easier schedule over these next 5 games. They've got this one, they got Leicester twice, and Osasuna and Espanyol, and they're finally playing like we all expected them to this season. They've won 5 straight league games, so I think they're gonna be up for this one. So my prediction's gonna be Madrid 2, Atleti 2. And up next, it's Bayern Munich versus Borussia Dortmund, which means it's time for me to throw it over to my Bundesliga expert, Adrian from Rabona TV, who's gonna break it all down Hoovercraft style. Adrian?
Bayern have the edge in the last 5 meetings. Despite Dortmund being in 4th place in the table, they are second behind Bayern in many team performance categories. But they'll have to be first in their shooting efficiency, as Bayern only gives up an average of 8.3 shots per game. And efficiency is what Lewandowski is all about, and if we only counted his goals for Bayern, they'd still be in 5th. And they'll need him as this goal prince versus king, as Aubameyang is hot heat right now, scoring 44% of Dortmund's goals. Both teams have important Champions League matches coming up, so I'm going to say a very conservative match with a 2-1 win for Bayern, just edging it thanks to a Lewandowski double. Now, I'm gonna go see what sort of secrets I can unmask in here. Peace!
And now we head over to Italy for Lazio versus Napoli. And one of these clubs is not like the other. Because for Lazio, they have to be feeling great about themselves after a good week of results that saw them get past Roma in the Coppa Italia, and it saw them gain 2 points on the team that is right above them in the standings, which just happens to be this week's opponent. And as for Napoli, they gotta be feeling like shit. First, they could have knocked off Juventus in the league, and they didn't. And then even though they beat Juve in leg 2 of the Coppa Italia 3-2, they couldn't overcome the deficit in leg 1, and they got knocked out of that competition. Which means Napoli are not involved in any extracurricular competition besides the league, so they're free to focus on that and that alone, and I think that's a positive. But Lazio have that all-important confidence and momentum, and with only 4 points separating both of these clubs, I think Lazio finds a way to get all 3 points and try to steal that Champions League spot away from Napoli. So my prediction's gonna be Lazio wins this 2-1. And now let's go to sunny England for Everton versus Leicester. So this one is a tough one to call because 1 week ago, Everton looked like they were going to make a late bid to sneak into the top 4, but then they lost to rivals Liverpool, then they gave up a late goal to draw with Manchester United. They have more injuries than Arsenal, and that's saying something because Arsenal always has like 50 people hurt. Their best defender is suspended. There are rumors that their best player is heading back to Chelsea, and they're playing against a Leicester side that has won 5 straight games and looks to be in top form. However, they've only lost once at home this season, and Leicester have only won once on the road, but the circumstances feel pretty dire here for the Toffees, and their confidence has to be shaken, so I think Leicester steals all 3 points here and wins 3-1. And now let's come back to my neck of the woods for Real Salt Lake versus the Vancouver Whitecaps. I know a lot of you are upset at me for not bringing up the Whitecaps when I was talking about the CONCACAF Champions League the other day when they still had a leg 2 to play in against Tigres, and I sincerely apologize for that. It will not happen again, but I was right. Tigres did the business, and the party started for them on a great Andre Pierre Gignac goal. You should go find it online. And now Tigres is going to play against Pachuca in the CCL final, which means, getting back to MLS, Vancouver is going to be pissed. They're going to be upset, which is, I think, the same as pissed and upset. I think you guys were picking up what I was putting down. And they're going to take it out on a Salt Lake team that already fired their coach like 5 games into the season. That's how well it's going there. So my prediction is going to be Vancouver 2, RSL 1. And finally, here are the other games I'll be keeping my eye on. Like Sunderland, Manchester United. If I want to see David Moyes watch his former signings at United help beat his current club, while my favorite club, Newcastle, gets to watch their rival take 1 step closer to relegation while we get promoted. Are you following all that? And also the Turkish Super League. Specifically, 2nd place Istanbul Başakşehir taking on 3rd place Galatasaray, because if Gala can win this game, it can move them to within 1 point of the top 2. And what about Benfica and Porto? Unfortunately, they don't play against each other for the rest of the season, but with only 1 point separating them in the table, every game, and there are 7 of them left, are of the utmost importance. And you know what? This one is going to be a great one to watch. It's Lyon versus Lorient in Ligue 1. Now, Lyon have 4th place wrapped up because they are 13 points behind 3rd place Nice, and 7 points above 5th place Marseille. So all eyes should be on Lorient, who have won 2 straight league games to get to within 1 point of escaping the relegation zone. So if you want to see a team fight and scrap and be as hungry as any team you've ever seen play, watch them this weekend. Y finalmente Tijuana contra Club America. Now even though my Zolos are playing like mierda lately, they're still in 4th place, only 4 points off the top. However, they're also 4 points away from 12th place, which just goes to show you how tight things are in the standings in Liga MX. So this game against 7th place America, where America's only 1 point behind them, is grande, amigos. It is grande. All right, that's it. That is all I got. Have a good weekend. Later.